A good Devach, everyone, and we are continuing here in Hachsek's learning of the Pele Yoetz. Today is day number 126, and we have a one-day chapter once again called Berurim, which means selecting judges, as the Pele Yoetz will explain. Toiv lishbait ben ish uben re'eu. It's a good thing to settle disputes between people, especially if there really is no halachic authority in that particular place. And even if you are in a place where there is a halachic authority, any case that is very difficult to rule on, it is better to adjudicate the case, to judge that case, when there are selected judges instead. And he's going to explain how this works. So you have two people, you have the plaintiff and the defendant, and each one chooses one or two judges for themselves. And then the two groups of judges now, they choose one other person to be like in the middle, the mediator between them. In this way, you're going to come up with the best judgment. Why? Each one of the groups is going to do their best to clarify and find that the person that has hired them, they're going to represent them in the best possible way. The two sides will discuss the matter in the proper way. And then the one judge who's in the middle, which was chosen by the two different groups, he's going to be machri, he's going to decide which one is correct. And certainly, whoever, if the two over here were chosen by, let's say, Reuven, so when they're trying to defend him, they should definitely not try to come up with claims that are based on emptiness or deception or the like. They shouldn't hold on to their opinions if through the debate that they have with the other side, it reveals that they're wrong. This rather will be their glory. They will admit to the truth, and in that way the judgment will become emes, it will become truthful and righteous. And it will demonstrate how righteous they are because they did not show favor to the person who selected them. However, and even if they love, meaning even if those people, the judges, are beloved, even if the people that they're representing are beloved to the judges, nevertheless, truth has to be beloved even more. So you cannot, chas v'chalil, even though you were hired by Reuven over here to defend him, nevertheless, truth trumps everything, and therefore, that's what comes first. Even if the judges must know that they did not change their minds, because they understand the matter and it was unchanged. And now the halacha was decided against what they originally held, meaning Reuven's judges did not change their minds, but you had the third party, the third judge in the middle, and he makes a decision that they're wrong and the other side is right. So what do you do in that case? You're not allowed to go and tell the person that you were defending, and say, really, I was on your side. But what can I do? They were overpowered me. They were the majority. I was the minority. So you now are kind of tattletaling over here on the way that the situation went down, that you were really on his side. You were trying to defend him. You were overpowered by the other side and this one judge in the middle over here. So what could you do? Says the Pele Yoetz, also legales. Someone who does this, someone who does this transgresses the pasuk that says, don't be a gossip monger amongst your people, because you're going now and you're taking the other side and you're telling the one that you are defending, it wasn't really me, it was really them. They're out to get you, not me. And therefore, says the Pele Yoetz, I suggest that when any sort of gathering takes place, communal matters and the like, whether it's the wise men of the city, or it's the good people of the city, the caretakers, or it is the selected judges, or other situations like this. La'achar gemar din, once that the judgment has been settled, it's fitting that the one that wanted to acquit the person who now lost the case, he should be the one to retract his position. He should go to the one that he was defending and say, listen, you were found guilty. This is how it was decided amongst us. There's nothing that we can do. And since that the person that now is being accused and he's being proven that he was wrong, but he's hearing it from the judge that he himself chose, he'll know that it must be a din emes, and he will accept it with a smiley countenance. And he will not argue, he will not defy the court. And he won't suspect any injustice over here, because he sees the people that I chose to defend me, they're the ones who are telling me that I'm wrong. He'll say it must be the truth that is guiding the judges that I chose. And therefore, if they take his shirt off his back, bedina, in the judgment, lizamer, he will sing, v'lezel, and he will go on his way, and he'll come to his destination in peace. Says the Pele Yoetz, when he realizes that justice was mediated over here, and he sees that there was a din emes, there was a judgment of truth, he's totally happy, and therefore he's makabel, he accepts it, and you did the right thing. However, if the Barim, the ones that you chose, are doing everything within their abilities to try to find a merit for the person who chose them, until they say that which is bad is good, and they end up taking the crooked path and they make it straight, and that which is upright they make corrupt, they're doing a terrible sin over here, which is you're doing evil and justice. You can't do such a thing. Such a person is hateful, he's repulsive, he's bad, he's an evil, he's an abomination. He gets a bad name for himself. He gets himself a very bad reputation, because it's obvious over here that he really knows what the true verdict is, and still he's trying to defend his side, and he's doing it the wrong way. What's he really doing over here? He's trying to cover up the faults of the one that he's defending with a pesachta, which was a vessel that was used in the Beis Hamikdash to cover up, for example, like a sheretz, a tummy animal and the like. You're trying to cover up something that's not there, that's there, and that's what he's trying to do over here. He's trying to cover up the wrong that his client did. It's like a person who wants to cover up the sun with a sieve. Can you cover up the sun with a sieve? You put it up in the air like this? No, the sieve has holes, and so the sun is going to be coming down through the holes. You'll see the sun. So to over here, if your arguments are filled with holes, people will see that as well. He makes himself a rasha amongst the people, because he's showing favoritism in judgment, which you're not allowed to do when you are a judge. But someone who judges a true judgment, even he goes against the one that he was defending, everybody hears about what he did. They'll say, what a tzaddik this person is. Look how righteous his actions are. He's for sure doing things l'shem shemayim, for the sake of heaven. Now let's say you have two sides, the defendant and the plaintiff over here. They're not the ones choosing these judges. Rather, they were chosen and appointed by the congregation to reside over such disagreements. Now let's say they end up, a case comes before them, and one of the people and the person that's being judged over here is a relative, or maybe there's a partnership that they have with one of the selected judges over here. Really, he should do the best of his ability to try to show that his relative is in the wrong. He has to do everything he can to show that, because otherwise he's being biased. Now, if through sound reasoning it turns out that his relative is off scot-free, and if he can't find if he can find only merits for his relative, so then better that he should be quiet. Do not speak, whether good or bad, because people say, oh, look at that, this is relative. He's certainly being showing favoritism over here to him, and he's obstructing justice. So you're better off just being quiet. Furthermore, says the Pele Yoetz, one must suspect that he sees nothing, that if he only sees merits in his relative's position, maybe it's that his love that he feels for the relative is like a bribery for him. It's like jading his ability to see, and it's covering up the guilt. And we know we have such a concept that says a person can see all of the blemishes around him except for the ones that are in himself. So therefore, if a person has his relative over here, he's not looking to see the wrong that they did. Which is talking about that if a person has saras, a kayin is allowed to look at anybody else's saras, but not his own. Because on his own, he won't see. And even that of his relatives, he's not allowed to examine either. And therefore, when it comes to anything like this particular case that we are describing over here, you need a lot of knowledge and discernment to make sure that you're going to find favor in the eyes of Hashem, and you do things in the right way, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Klal Yisrael will see that you are a judge that is judging cases emes la'amitai, according to the true letter of the law. All the best.